everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Gentleman's Lounge. And we got none other than your boy, Jared Jones in the building.
What's popping? I never know which camera to look at.
It don't matter, man. Just look at one. It's okay. Just one is fine. And we got the other member of the group, none other than the most controversial member of the group, AJ, man, Albert Simmons. Holla at me. And of course, you got Lester. And then it's a pleasure of mine to have a long-time friend on the show, Mrs. Dr. Hareder McDowell. What's up?
I love it.
You never forget the doctor. All right, they serious about that.
Say it's Dr. Mac for sure. Yeah.
Dr. Mac?
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to go ahead and do Dr. Mac real quick.
So we got Dr. Mac and Dr. Lovelace.
You got it. See? I'm glad you keep up with
And
stuff.
Dr. Loveless?
Dr. Loveless, yeah. You got to watch the episode.
Less is more.
Absolutely. I have homework.
and for those that don't know, she's a community sex
Psychologist.
psychologist. There we go. Specializing in black women, though.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
How do you just do it? Like, how do you just discriminate against white women?
I think they've. I don't think it's discrimination. I think my preference is black.
Okay.
And I think that I have the right to prefer to work with women that look like me and raised me. So I think they got enough.
I respect that. I respect that. Because when I first was talking to you about it, you was like, oh, yeah, I'm considered a community psychiatrist. I was like, what is a community?
Yeah.
Because when I hear community psychiatrist, the first thing I think of is people saying like, oh, you got that community dick? Like, what's up? Like, so what's community psychiatrist? Like, kind of explain to the viewers out there, like, what
I will, but Lester, I got to ask you to stop thinking. It's to your detriment.
Sorry.
So I'm a community psychologist, and that means I got a PhD specific to researching black women and how we communicate about sex, how we learn about sex, and why we are experiencing some of the same things that our grandmothers experienced, and we passing them down so our daughters can experience. So just ran and got a PhD, researched about 1,000 black women to get our stories and see if we can figure this out.
And I'm pretty sure there's more to figure out still to this day.
Well, that's going to be ever
I mean, the research or sexology is in its infancy, right? So you have all these different research industries that have 100 years behind them, right? So if you think about a woman, a black woman, and any of us deciding that they're going to research it, we the babies. We're just now being asked like what we even care about or what we even think about. So it's not a lot of us that are doing this work, but it's necessary so everybody has better relationships and better sex, and so our kids have better opportunities in sexuality.
And just so the viewers know, like, we didn't have her come on just to figure out how to have better sex with women. But
why not?
Right. But in reality, it was a personal thing for all of us. Where it's like, we want to be able to understand, women and even better, but also get your point of view or your perspective on how fucked up our minds are when it comes down to like just sex with women and things like that.
I'm happy to be here. I'm happy you guys give a shit. It's a male show. Yeah. And I think that a lot of times men have the option to give a shit or not, So to either have me on and say we're gonna devote our platform to this work and let your women, sisters, mamas, aunties, future, girl dads, the opportunity to, know that this work is being done. So thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Yeah. So what kind of drove that passion for you to even get into it?
Just
I've known you for a while now.
Yeah, I just a chill girl, bunch of brothers raised by a lot of dope men. From Chicago. Chicago makes the best men. And Chicago makes the best men. Hey, but within that, just having no like horror stories. Like I wasn't abused. I had no issues. They got me together. They built me. Mm-hmm. And I think that when men build women, we're a little different. We're a little doper, Yeah. So it's kind of like if y'all stick around and give us the truth and tell us what's what, then we'd be better wives to y'all.
Oh, that's knowledge right there.
Yeah.
She dropped it for sure.
So that's what made me want to do it, just being a cool friend. My friends, I started teaching in elementary school and beyond language arts. I was a teacher that they would pop into and kind of feel comfortable enough telling me stuff and doing stuff. I was like, I kind of got a gift. They telling me all their business, then I'm not asking. So
wait. They was telling you their business in elementary school?
Elementary school.
Jesus Christ.
I know.
Wait. So what was that like?
Wait, I didn't hear that.
Honestly, it is like they didn't have an outlet. They couldn't tell the truth at home, so they decided that I was a safe space. Okay. So it let me know, okay, when you do this work, you need to start a nonprofit, you need to give back and go back. So did that, started a nonprofit, and we work with about 1,000 girls a year. We're Chicago Public Schools partner. And I talk to fifth graders how I'm talking to y'all.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And to even deeper than that, because I was just reading up a little bit and catching up on your life, because, life passes us by, right?
Yeah.
Growing up in high school and everything, I used to see you all the time, but then a lot of time passes. So I'm reading up. Things I didn't know about you is that, when it came down to growing up, like, you being able to have conversations with the people in your village about sex, and not being embarrassed about it. Because, of course, growing up, when you have young women, high school or even elementary school, starting getting interested or having that thought of like, what is this? I'm learning my body. I'm trying to figure this out. Like, is this good or is this bad? But you have all these other elements that say that it's wrong, right? You're not of age, right, to be able to please yourself, right? Church, right? You can't please yourself. Or, hey, don't get pregnant. Don't mess with these boys. You're going to be fast, right? So you got all these things telling you no, but yet they're not even taking the time to consider like what you're actually going through, right? Trying to figure it out. So that was actually an interesting thing that I found out about you.
I'm a product of my village. I love the village. I love being Black. And within that, I just had people tell me the truth. So that, gift of authenticity early makes you really unapologetic. And then if you add like spirituality and attachment to God to that, you kind of become this powerhouse, right? So I have men telling me the truth, and I'm watching their experiences. I'm watching how they treat women. Like, one of my cousins who's like my brother, we know how that works in the Black household. I watched a chick pull up in her prom dress. He wasn't never going. So I'm little sis on the porch. He like, I'm out. What? So I'm watching how they navigate women and who they're choosing for real and who they're choosing for play. And then I'm watching my mom. I have these dynamic women who, just kind of forge through a lot of different stuff. And I'm watching how they move. And I'm having the opportunity to develop. So I'm a culmination of my village.
But you were older than most of the people you were growing up with, weren't you?
No, I was just hidden. Yeah, I wasn't older. Like, I'm, the baby on my mother's side and the first grandchild on my dad's side. But as far as like in school or in the sorority or anything, I'm always the youngest. Like, I got to Morgan Park when I was 17.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So question is, your brother ever come to you about advice?
Hell no.
Yo, what is it about siblings?
So you cool to everybody else, but to your siblings you ain't shit. Yeah. So I said, I love my brother to death, but he's very much that's for girls, But and even talking about business or anything, he just like, man.
And he's your older brother, right?
He's my baby brother.
Oh,
my older brothers talk to me all the time.
And that's what's crazy. So me and my older sister, we got really close when I got to high school, right? Because I was a freshman in high school, she was a freshman in college. Yeah. And that's when we started getting close. It was no longer that brother-sister, rivalry where it's like, she get out my face, whatever. Yeah. But even to this day, it's like there's things that she's going through that I know she's going through, but she won't come and ask me my opinion or she won't talk to me about it and things like that. I'm just like, yo, I'm a guy. Not only am I a guy, but I learned from you. Yeah. So not only did I learn from you and the women around me, but I know how dudes are too. Yeah. So why would you not come and talk to me?
Maybe she don't feel safe with her business.
That's what I'm thinking.
You might give off I think people don't know the energy that they give off sometimes when we're just being concerned. We may give off a judgmental energy. And if you give somebody that, they're not going to tell you their real shit. So you really have to be mindful of how you kind of open up the door for her to be that vulnerable. And, she even with a little brother, she might look up to you. She might look up to your marriage. She might look up to your life. And it's like, man, I'm not going to tell them my real shit.
Well, that's a good point.
I went through the same shit with my sister. She's older than me. And growing up, I was fighting dudes away because I knew they weren't good. But now we went to counseling and everything. She ain't like me or nothing. Growing up, she ain't like me. We went to counseling as adults. Yeah. So then
you and your sister?
No, I went to counseling, bro. About a year ago.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
now we got to set a relationship. Yeah. But she's still selective with what she'll tell me.
I think boundaries are a thing. My brothers, fortunately and unfortunately, they get it all. My older one, he just flew back to Cali. We took family pictures last week, and we got to have our set of hours to just talk real shit. And it always includes his wife and my husband. They ain't there, but we talking about it. Right. And he lets me know good, bad, when I'm ridiculous, and I let you know.
Hey, here's the crazy thing though, because when I was playing ball, my homeboys, my close homeboys, and then her homegirls, we all link up, right? They'll come to a game of ours. We'll link up afterwards. We drink. We have fun. I found out more about my sister through those settings because we all drinking. We playing games. Those type of games where you drinking. And I find out more about her, and I'm like, yo, like, I feel like we on the same page now. So why would you not, like, open up and talk to me about it? But I get to your point that it's like, you know what, I don't want to feel judged.
Yeah.
Or maybe my personality is too
strong.
Too strong. Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah,
I was gonna say aggressive, but that's not aggressive. It's just too strong or something like that.
Concern.
Yeah. But there's been times I tried the method of like, yo, just like I've heard some things, so I would just come to her and be like, yo, like I just want to let you know, like I'm here for you. Like I heard some things about what you and your dude.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll give her my opinion. And we had a really good conversation from there. But then after that, it was like nothing.
Les, I got a suggestion.
Oh, please.
Tell her your business.
I feel like my wife does that enough.
Because you, but I mean, but it's your wife's
You're right.
So I'm not about to sit up and tell you, you know, I know my brother's business. You know, like Tremaine, Kevin, all of them, because they trust me with it. Because am I not worthy enough, or my opinion isn't good enough to get in your shit, but you want to advise me on mine? We got a daddy, and it ain't you.
And I don't really want to advise. I actually just want you to come to me because I know, if I know you're hurting.
Come to you for advice?
No, not even advice. Because you hurting, I want you to just come to me.
I think it's good that you want to be that.
It's
but
hard.
what is help if she don't know you're the person to ask for it?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And it's hard
But
for
if you
me.
know she's hurt, when you initiate that conversation,
that's the other thing. It's delicate, right? Because you don't want to be prying in people's business. I'm big on like, yo, if you don't come to me for
boundaries
something,
and shit. Yeah.
like that's your business. Like when you're ready to talk, my job, in my opinion, let me know if I'm wrong from your perspective. My job is to make it to where you understand or you're comfortable coming to me.
True.
If you do. Clearly that's failing, but
no, it's not. I mean, everybody has an approach that works for them. And the good thing about people that you love or people you have relationships with, you work to figure out what approach works for them because they're worth that.
Yeah.
So if your sister is worth it, and that, and I'm saying like daddy, because that fatherly approach is real. It's a gray area between a brother and a dad, and that protective thing. And we don't want to disappoint you all either. And then I have to watch when I make that call.
Yeah.
You know, I was raised by Chicago men. I can't just show up fucked up and think they not gonna move. My hurt is a call to action.
That's true. That's true.
And if you call a black man to action in this city, you have to think about every single thing that can happen after that. So I can't just call my brother.
I know when to use that card.
Am I gonna get back with the nigga? Am I, you know, is he finna come to the next holiday anyway?
Season, right?
So you gotta be mindful. But I say I love my brother is a human being to me when he tells me, you know, his fuck ups, his vulnerabilities, when he gets in trouble over there, because all I do is hear his story and I feel obligated to tell him mine.
Yeah. Right or wrong.
And then it creates a space. We don't have to do that no more because he know I'm coming to him with my shit.
Yeah.
No, that's real.
Yeah, I definitely agree that it's a level of comfortability, because that's just with like any relationship. Like I wouldn't come and tell you things if I can't open the door for you to come and do the same thing to me. Like if we have that two-way street and two-way communication, it makes things a lot easier. And it could be a little gray area with siblings, but I mean this is somebody you grew up with, so it should be a lot easier. But you know, with men and women siblings, like it could be a little bit harder because there's that small gray area of there might be a little bit of judgment.
It is. And we talking about qualifying siblings. Everybody brother ain't think about everybody's
right.
So we're not generalizing the definition, but you know if you related to somebody or if that's your family.
Yeah.
So here's a question. This now you're right. You're right. I'm close with my friends.
Blood
that I
don't
am
make
with
you
my
family.
No, I really am. I'm really
Most people
like my friends that are in my circle. Like they are more like my brothers than my actual family.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
my uncles. I'm close with all my sisters, but when it comes to that piece, like I'm tighter with my boys.
Yeah.
And the people like are actually my friends. The question, I guess, another question I have, and not to hijack this, is that I mean, I'm big on like I don't really, and I'm not say it's intentional, but I don't really go to people to ask them their advice about my relationship. Like I'll go to my homeboys, like my best friends that are in a similar relationship, like a marriage, and vent. Because sometimes you just want to vent, that's it. And then they tell you to say like, oh, I've been through that, right? And that's it. And they give you some advice and you listen to it. But I don't really just go and just start picking out people to actually like, oh, let me get your opinion. I'd rather read about it. I'd rather actually just talk to my wife about it. I'd rather talk to people that are in similar situations. So in my mind, it could be the issue is that my sister's not married. So it'd be harder for me to go to her and ask her about advice when she hasn't experienced it to this level.
Because
we ain't talking about sex yet.
Right.
We're talking about just normal stuff that people go through?
So it's funny. I don't know what interview I was in, but I talked about an advice village, and I talked about an advice village and people who decide that they've run out of opportunities for mentorship. If you stop learning, you stop growing.
I agree.
And if you don't have an advice village, a qualifying advice village, and by qualifying, experience does qualify you.
I agree.
Not being able to sustain a certain number of years in a marriage, because we know a lot of miserable people
that would just stay in marriage
because they just have the number.
It's a business deal.
They just have the number. Oh, we've been married for however long. So with that,
I ain't gonna be miserable.
Right, but with that being said, part of your advice village can be the miserable people, because if you begin to see yourself in them, you may realize you might be making her miserable, or you know. So the village can include people that are married, but it can include your sister, because usually we pick wives with similarities to the women that we were raised with. So it may be some things in her that show up in your house, you know. And
I ain't gonna lie, my women pick bad men.
I'm talking.
You
back talking about your sister.
But I'm saying, like, how do you get advice from somebody where you're like, yo, you pick bad partners? So how do I actually talk to you about something? I'm like, yo, your choice in picking.
But people. I think that she qualifies for things that your wife is challenged by with you.
Okay, that's fair.
Because they understand your character flaws and your quirks. So she has somebody that she can trust. Lester been like that. We've been trying to change it so they can work together to fix it. Because we all have some things that need to be shifted. But everybody needs a trusted advice village that can be a third and fourth and fifth party, because I think there's some humility in that. And in that humility, you can get a serious love, because it's a lot of ego and arrogance in marriage. And, you know, who did it first, who's the leader, who's the follower, who's doing this and who's doing that. And usually when I'm talking to the 20, 30, 40 years in women in my life that constantly mentor me, I call them weekly. One of them I talk to every Tuesday to keep my sanity, my marriage, my business, like they're a part of my team. And it's kind of like, how dare I think I could do it alone?
You're right. I've probably been sacrificing for weed. So.
And I stay.
Like, girl, you get on my nerves.
Get on my nerves.
I still love you though. No, you like, all right, babe, what you want? Beat me, use me, like whatever, abuse me. What's up? I'll take whatever hits you want to take.
Look at it like a staff, you know. We got a minister, a counselor, a dog, you know, the elders, the middle people,
right.
You know, his frat, my sorority, you know, and it's like, keep us together.
I feel it. So let's talk about something real.
Yeah.
What we gonna talk about?
This stuff been fake.
I guess more real. Because people don't know me, so let's talk about something that everybody can probably feel.
Okay.
The GSpot.
That's a good spot. It stands for good. It stands for great. You got the right one.
So how many people, or what percentage of people, especially men, got it wrong?
I think that that's a general statement. I mean, the G right.
They misunderstand what the GSpot actually.
You go there.
So
the
you
good spot.
So you got to get grace for saying get it wrong, because what class do you go to find it?
That's true.
I
Experience.
had class in health class in high school.
I think it's more to it than experience.
Yeah, look at that page.
I don't know nothing else about anatomy.
I think it's more to it than experience, though. I think you need to do your research and actually learn, study, and then take those practices into the bedroom.
Right. So how many books have you done to do that?
Not many people do it.
How many books have you done? I think you need to study.
No. Because
research.
I don't know.
Write down the notes.
I may think I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But in actuality, I probably don't. You know what I'm saying? So I haven't took that action. You know what I'm saying? So I probably just been doing some shit.
I'm a reverse it, because I have clients that work with me that like to complain in reverse about y'all not finding it. And my question is, have you?
That's true.
Or how can you teach
somebody to find it, right?
Because if I'm sleeping with you and I give you a head start because I know myself, all this shit finna be good. Because I know what I know, so I can give you this and I take this recipe and add all your shit to it.
Right.
But if I don't come with nothing,
if you don't know yourself,
I don't play with myself.
Yeah.
I haven't read a book or watched a porn or YouTube, or I don't know anything about. I mean, the great is Gaffenberg, and it's a fun name of a white man that they gave credit to, but it is a vagina, and it's a lot of different ways to help us have orgasms, a lot of different ways to help us experience a lot of different pleasurable things that if we get there first.
Sky's the limit.
Yep.
I agree. Learning your body, man. Knowing your body.
Take your time.
Men don't get stuff right because sometimes if you ask us the question, we gotta
give you the answer. That's fair.
What's the most the thing that a lot of men don't realize? You got to take your time. You know, people be rushing and trying to, jackrabbit the thing and just.
I don't sound like rushing. I feel like it's just selfish.
That too. That comes with taking your time.
Yeah,
it's not taking your time.
But patience, you gotta like her to be patient. With
True,
her.
and it's a whole lot of it's a lot more mental than a lot of people really realize. Yeah. And I realized that in my marriage. Like sometimes, like, 'cause I just want to get mine off real quick, but it wasn't always right for her. Cause she's like, well, if my mind ain't there, if my mind is not in it, then it ain't gonna get as wet. Or you know what I'm saying. So I had to find different ways to stimulate it and make sure that she was ready before I can just jump up in it.
And that starts that first thing in the morning text. Sex starts as soon as we wake up. Sex starts as soon as you say something to me, as soon as you offer me something. So by the time you get to me physically, I've been wanting to fuck since lunch. When you said that, whatever, you know what I mean. You remember that I gave up this for Lynn, and you found the True Foods down the street and sent me. God damn it, I'm ready. Yeah, right. But it just took you paying attention to me saying, I'm giving this up for Lynn. Mm-hmm. I'm sick of it. I hate I'm trying to be disciplined, and you gave a shit about me the next day. Mm-hmm. You know I'm gonna fuck up the first day. You know what I mean? After Lynn, I'm gonna slip. And you took that from me and led me like, don't fuck up. Mm-hmm. You told me you was gonna do this. It's nothing like a man teaching me and holding me accountable for some shit I said I was gonna do through listening to me. All I wanna do is fucking when I go to work.
Preach.
Love.
But patience.
Accountability.
You can't first thing in the morning, like you said, jackrabbit me. But if we talking shit all day.
Yeah. We're gonna get to it. I learned that from.
You don't get the all day text.
You're right.
I learned that from
Get all that.
My stepmom. Okay. She's a little older. She's her and my father are actually divorced.
Let's see where this goes.
Because
her and my father is.
Because I see the age of the text.
Look.
This is wrong.
I was gonna allow it. Yeah, I'm with you, AJ.
So she like telling me a little tidbits, right?
Your stepmom. So wait, let's walk this back. Let's walk this back.
Y'all not letting me speak.
In case people didn't hear, you said your stepmom. Yeah, go ahead. Of course. Let me tell them how you found out.
I meant that as she's a little older. She's like 8, 9 years older than my father.
Okay.
So she put me on game and shit.
What she tell you? And what your stepmom tell you?
So look, she told me a little while back. She's like, when you get in your 40s, that's when you had the best sex. And I was sitting there like, damn, for real? I thought I was doing some things, in my 20s and my early 30s, and
shit, in my 20s. I was just fucking.
What do you think? What do you think about that?
So I'm excited to get to 40 because I hear that all the time that sex gets better
in your 40s.
I think that a lot of definitely why wait, but if sex is mental, a lot of other shit is off your mind by the time you're 40. A lot of shit you don't care about as much. Like you got less fucks. Maybe you more stable financially. Maybe you really sitting down somewhere. You done did all the random fucking you could do. You did Miami Memorial Day weekend. The niggas done been to Cartagena 100 times. Whatever it is. That's the hiding spot. But you did it.
So you dropped the gym. My wife ain't gonna never let me go back.
That was
focus.
Happy Black History.
Medellin now.
So you focus.
You focus. So it's kind of like you got time. Mm-hmm. That's it. And you're calmer. Maybe you heal from some stuff. So now you like, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna try that. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't give a shit, I'm gonna shoot my shot. Or I don't care, I'm finna come for her.
I got a question for you too.
It pans out.
I got a question for you.
Question number 2 before I finish. I'm okay.
So, hear about why you and your stepmom having these sex conversations.
I mean, it's just knowledge. It's knowledge. My pops told me how to go down on it when I was 15.
Your pops?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean that's your pops.
You gotta teach you the ropes.
Teach me how to do some things when I was about 15.
I hope you were successful. Y'all both
ladies. I ain't gonna I ain't gonna
That's why sisters talk to him and say shit like that.
Hey, I'm just y'all both gonna go down together. If you ain't good, y'all both going down together.
I don't know, but I'm gonna let the ladies speak. I ain't gonna.
What was the question?
So my question is, how you feel about the gooch? I'm gonna take it there. How you feel about that?
He loves the gooch.
He loves the gooch. How you feel about that?
I love colloquialism.
See, you saw she makes that shit.
How do I feel about it as it relates to what?
Pleasing the man? Is that what you
man? You incorporate that in the bedroom, or like, how do you feel people adding that to their routine?
So I'm gonna answer the question in general. If you grown, shit should be limitless.
Okay,
I agree.
And I think that
wait, let me go ahead, continue. I was dying like this. I was like, then all these other things popped in my mind. I'm like,
how do you feel about that?
In all seriousness, nothing should be off limits because I can say, what's the point of getting through all of the bumper cars you got to do while you figuring shit out? Mm-hmm. Then let's do the math. If you start fucking, and most men that I know, I would say that weren't exposed to sex early and had consensual sex when they wanted to, started at, because that's a real thing, 14, 15.
Right.
You've been getting pussy since 14.
Not me.
Right, I'm just saying. I don't, maybe me and you don't. Me and I know. 14, 15.
I grew up around, brother.
Right. But even with, don't call him out. But with that,
I got you.
If you 40, that's a lot of regular shit on repeat.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So if you do the shit on repeat, you're no longer trying to get it. You know how to get it. It comes. It's plentiful. Yeah. So what else I'm gonna do with it?
Cup's already full.
And if I decide to commit to you and say, fuck it, I'm going to give you my name, I'm supposed to have carte blanche. We're supposed to be in a safe space to, even if we try it and we laugh, because it's like, what the fuck was we on?
Right.
It still turns you on because it's like, man, that's my bitch. Or that's my guy.
She gonna ride for me when it's time to ride.
Or she's gonna let you, if she was open enough and vulnerable enough for you to be that, when you're going through some real trauma, that ain't some silly shit like a gooch play.
Yep.
She can handle you.
Most definitely. I agree with that. That's what's up.
So that's what I think about all the stuff. But
I feel you.
And you should trust her. Because most men are not scared of anything. They scared of her telling somebody when she don't like him no more.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Man, this nigga let me eat his booty. This nigga, all that type of shit. I feel
I don't judge, man.
And it be y'all. It don't be.
Nah, man. Shoot.
So to piggyback off of the sex and all of that.
Yeah.
Do you think you can have who me?
Hell.
Oh, I'm about to say, I'm over there laughing like, what is it?
Here goes.
Here we go. That's because he see me looking at him like, what you about
Where
to
you
say?
finna go? Because he started. He like, all right, what?
Let me kick it off too.
Back with your stepmom. Yeah, I'm looking
talk about the goose dip every episode. We talk about sex.
Yes, he does. Wait, what's your question? I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
We talk about, what I'm saying, sex and how men have been getting it for 20 plus years if you start at 14, 15. Do you think you can have sex without intimacy, or do you think they go hand in hand?
They don't go hand in hand. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think that, there's science and then there's spirituality, emotions, and all these other things.
And maturity.
And it's not necessarily like people are intimate with their best friends. Has nothing to do with sex.
I agree.
That is where they go to get right for whatever it is. True. And it's genderless, it's ageless. Some people's best friend, they grandma. Some people's best friend, is their homie that they did a bid with. Whatever the case may be, that's intimate, right? But when you decide to add sex to it, if you already intimate with the person, the sex is much better.
I agree.
Because it's in everything. Look what she cooked. Look how she smelled. Look how she sound. That don't come with everybody you're not intimate with.
It's a drug.
Right. When it's
woman walk by me with it smelling good, I'm like,
yeah.
Girl, you done went up to a 10.
Used to.
That fast, girl.
Used to.
Yeah. But I think I think people make excuses to try to combine the two, and people don't necessarily want to accept the truth. Because I will say, many a time, if somebody tells you, listen, I like sex, you're who I like having sex with, hear the words. Yeah. Don't add anything to it. Nothing was said to you about intimacy or love or relationship. We fuck good. Yeah. It's like a hooping partner or your spades part. Like, not to trivialize it, but if somebody has made you just that person and that's what y'all do, don't add nothing else to it if he didn't give you that.
That's a great point because a lot of men will say, just so y'all know, I'm not gonna say this. Growing up in a house full of women, you figure stuff out a lot faster. But a lot of men will be like, oh, well, it's gonna lead towards feelings. Yes. Even if y'all start off with sex. Like, I've met some girls that was just big of a goon as everybody else, where they're just like, yo, nigga, like, I fucks with you. You a cool dude. I just wanna fuck.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to get in a relationship. Yeah. And that's cool. Like, that's the maturity I'm talking about. But a lot of other men will be like, nah, but if we start fucking, if the sex is good, like, she gonna catch feelings eventually.
I think it's easier for them to say that about us.
Yeah,
than in the reverse.
I agree.
It makes no sense for you.
Because the minute that girl go smash another dude, you like, you a hoe. You a hoe. You gonna just smash that dude, and we was having this sex. That's good.
It speeds up the process, though.
What does?
Sex. Speeds up the process.
What process?
Whether it's you guys are looking at dates, and y'all taking y'all time, and sex comes about, versus not having sex and y'all just casually dating and y'all kicking.
Well, you adding a lot of more elements.
So it's like,
but you adding a lot of elements to it,
just to see if y'all want that.
Yeah, that's true. But if we here just for sex, like if it's like, yo, I have a mutual level of respect for you, we cool, the chemistry's there, we know it's just sex, but we going on dates, we're going on trips together. Well, no, we're dating now. That's a different story.
Trips is steep.
Trips, because money's involved.
Cool, but trips.
If we spending all this time together and I'm courting you now. Like, that's a different story. Like, if it's just like, yo, I enjoy the conversation. When we link up, we have sex. Cool. But if we talking about all the other stuff, like, yo, we going on trips, we going out in public together, like going to movies and dates. Well, you're dating. You're dating somebody now. Like, that's different. Yeah. So of course, feelings are gonna get involved, one side or the other, or both.
But if he's offering that, I mean, it's a slippery slope, because some men have like a 5-point standard to fuck.
Yeah.
And it absolutely has nothing to do with the relationship. They mama or they daddy or they hood told them, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, she gotta do something to eat, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna fuck. But if you're dealing with a woman who has always been fucked getting nothing, your 5 things were the world.
Yeah,
that's true.
But you asked no questions.
Mm-hmm. It's like a stray dog. Stray dog.
Right?
You feed them, they come home now because they ain't never had nothing.
Yeah, which is why just a little bit of conversation is, will let you know to dodge it or take the bullet. And I think in a lot of instances, not just men, but some people go in with their whole culture, their whole swag, their smell, their whatever, and you are giving somebody an experience and you just being you. Right. And I hate to say it like this, but feelings and things and vibes happen on accident.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's true.
But when you add your dick to it,
let the women know out there.
Or when you add your pussy to it, you've, talked to him about his dreams and helped him get, out of a fight with his mama and organized his cabinets and shit. And and it's just what you do. Because you like cleaning. You just a cool chick and you do this and you like, oh, it's a good night and we gonna fuck. Mm-hmm. You will crush him. Yeah. You never, because you're just being you and you like, no, this didn't mean. What you mean? I like cleaning bathrooms. Yeah. And it sounds like bullshit.
That person, it's a lot.
Exactly. So you gotta try to see, you gotta ask the right questions, like as soon as you think you want to fuck them. And people know really quick.
I don't.
Men know
I've been.
Women know a lot.
I've been on both sides.
7 to 8 minutes.
Nah, men know in 30 seconds.
That they want to fuck.
Yeah, come on now.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna call you. Men know in 30 seconds if they want to fuck.
Yep. So let me say 7 to 8 minutes for us to say it's a yes.
Yeah, I agree.
And the 9th and 10th is when you could talk our panties back up.
Right. Yeah. And it's opposite for men in my opinion, where it's like, yo, I want to fuck, but then based on the conversation, I'm big on conversation. I'm big on conversation. Like, yo, we having a conversation and like it's like mentally stimulating and everything like that. Like all of a sudden, like, yo, I'm all in. Like, what's up? Yeah. But if the conversation whack, or your demeanor's whack, your vibes are whack. Like, immediately I went from like wanting to fuck to like, yo, get the fuck away from me. Like, I don't even want to talk to you no more.
That's mutual.
There's a two, because the women, you gotta earn it, right? Mm-hmm. You gotta earn it. Men, it's like, yo, you already earned it. Yeah. Now you gotta lose it. It's yours to lose. It's yours to lose, right?
And I wish somebody would do a study and compare the time frame between and honestly get us a fact on how, many misses happen per night just on like organic chemistry that might have turned into something. Because people have that timeline, people have all these rules, and we got a lot of people that want to be married and want to be and stuff, but they got all their shit, they got all their rules and the list, and by this age I got to do blah blah blah, and they killing organic vibes every day.
People kill me when they be like, oh, I just know I want to be married for. I'm like, do you even know what marriage entails?
Right.
Like, you don't even know the.
Who really
I got
knows?
another
What the
question.
hell?
And that's the point that he's making. Like,
What?
when people are like, oh, you ready for marriage? I'm like, no. But I'm ready to try
with
and
her.
go on this
Yep.
journey
Yeah, most definitely.
with this person because this person has earned it. And I feel like hopefully I've earned the right to go through it with this person too. Let's try together. Let's fail together.
Yeah.
Let's
struggle
succeed together.
Let's figure it out.
And I had
It's no different than starting a business.
Through that because everybody was like, "Oh, how did you know you was ready? You was ready."
Proud of y'all.
I was
watched
ready
the
to
whole
take the
season.
leap.
It was
of
real.
faith.
I watched the
No, I mean, you know when you watch
Right.
this, you look for who from Chicago.
Yeah. And you look for who's actually real. Like, oh, that motherfucker's faking.
No,
It was
you are.
real.
It is a commitment as soon as somebody say they from here.
Yeah. I agree.
To the whatever the experience is,
time.
and then you kind of like zoom in, like don't fuck up or whatever it is, you know, and you
Because they want you to win.
no matter what, like
Yeah.
Top Chef. I'm like, is anybody in
Yeah,
this
if they Chicago, I'm like, win.
and I love that
It's
we
a pride.
had one
It's a
from
pride
Chicago,
thing.
right? So watched. We were proud of you all, and we were proud that it was Chicago at Chicago and that whole thing.
Black couple and all that.
Yeah. It was. You know, a lot of cities get embarrassed.
Most definitely.
You know, we got our shit, but
Detroit.
that wasn't one of them.
Successful.
I tried to tell people like, no matter how much you try to prepare for marriage, like you will never truly be ready until you're in it.
Yeah.
Because you can get advice from other people. Their blueprint is completely different than what your marriage is gonna look like.
Yeah.
Because you got to figure this shit out with this person.
Yeah,
Just because you're committing to take a leap of faith and just figuring the shit out.
that's it.
You know what I'm saying? Like you'll never be ready if you've never been married.
But that's what makes it rare.
Yeah.
Like two people deciding to jump together, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it is, and it's like the commitment to the try is what the altar is. You know what I mean? And you know, being someone that's been in a relationship for the majority of my life, you rebrand. You know, you reintroduce yourself.
You spice
to
it
each
up.
other.
I ain't the same person I
but
was 10
the
years ago,
reintroduction
right?
is really serious, and you say, nice to meet you. We married now,
And you need them to recognize it. Yeah.
and be okay with it.
Me
Like
and my
it's
wife got text messages
yeah.
about it. She sent me some pictures of her the other day about her in college. Every time, I'm like, girl, you fine now. You was fine then too. I was like, so we go back and forth. Like she's like, boy, I would have been running circles around you.
Quit.
I'm like, man, I don't
Quit.
know. So you know, okay. So I joke with
Your
her.
wife is dope.
Yeah, and we would joke around because we'd be like, yo, we both agree, like, yo, if we would have met each other in college, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
So then I just throw a jab at her, and I'm like, girl, your pussy was probably whack in college.
You know what's crazy?
Timing is everything.
Listen, me and my husband met in college, and college sex is different. Like the hibernation of an undergraduate experience, and
You ain't
kind
got no
of
restrictions.
what the fuck?
High school, you got restrictions, bro. Everybody in your business.
Yeah, but you fake grown.
College, it's like, yo, you fucked him? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, man.
It gets wild. Yeah.
Man.
So
went to a
I
small
think
school.
everybody that decided.
Shit, everybody knew everybody.
Right.
Black population was a little small.
Black community in college is
You had to pick and
small.
choose. At my school, at least. Well,
Our
I-
school,
White
he went to a
school,
small
so
school.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
well, I went to a big school, but the black community
Yeah.
was a lot smaller.
Oh, that's every white
That's
university.
every PWI.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody hit PWI with
Yeah.
Oh, so
But I found every black girl, white girl, Asian girl, don't matter. Like I found the woman. If you were a beautiful woman, I found you. Okay? I don't care.
It's easy as an athlete. They come to you.
Oh, yeah, that's true too. But population 50 black people. Okay, great. I'm gonna get 10 of y'all. Okay, Asian 17. I'm gonna get about 5 of y'all.
5 of y'all.
Okay, white girls 120. Actually, let's go like 3,000. I'm gonna get 100 of y'all. Okay,
That's
perfect.
it.
Right.
So I got a question.
Ooh, thank you. She got a question.
I got a
Got a question.
Yeah.
Get them.
Let me
I don't know.
lean
It
over.
was
like
crazy.
this.
I don't know where it's gonna go, but
I love her. Hey, y'all know this the homie. We used to have, every time we link up, like, we be having dope conversations. Like, we should probably stay in touch more.
we should.
To be honest.
Life got the life, and we got grown and shit. So I'm not gonna say who I did the study for, but I'm writing for something to tell the story of black women and sex. And you get to this point about how we feel about black men and white women. And, I had an opportunity to just kind of casually, have some conversations with some black men about their experiences with white women. And they said, well, the best way to get back as somebody that, controls you is to fuck their daughter or their mama. And I said, whoa. And they said, as a black man, in this country and this, that, and the other thing, like literally, sometimes the only thing we can do is just run through their ass. And I was like, whoa, y'all are telling me the truth. Then I, went to another group and they was like, yeah, sometimes I don't even bathe. Like I go from one and I did it. And it was such a dirty. It was such a like.
No, actually,
I
know what they saying. I know what they saying.
Here's the thing, though. They were like,
I know what they say.
Don't feel bad, black women. We're different with them. It's literally, and I was like, why don't y'all tell us this shit so we don't be so mad? And it sounds fucked up, but to hear them give their truth, they like, no, it ain't that. Sometimes the circumstances, who I am, where I'm at, and how I want to move, I'm not going to be like that with y'all. And to reverse it and make us be like, oh, so we've been bitching this whole time thinking that it's a better life when it's just a different one.
Yeah.
So are you different with white women?
I am.
Oh, you gotta be.
No, of course. No, that's a very great point that you bring up. And it's really like, you get those men, like the rumors, right? Where it's like, oh, well, you could do whatever you want to white women, this and that. It's like going to the metaverse. You like, yo, I can stab somebody, I can go and steal, and I get caught, I can do whatever I want. Of course you gonna do it. But then when you go home, shit get real again. You're like, no, I don't want to do that with you. Like, I don't want to abuse you. I don't want to hit you over the head. I don't want to leave handprints on you where it look like, damn, now I done beat your ass to death. Yeah, like you don't do it.
It's very much experimental.
Yeah.
Or like or recreational.
Recreational.
And I'm not saying this to anybody who decided that the love of their life was outside of their culture or their race. I'm always looking for a correlation or like a pattern.
Yeah.
And if we can change the narrative that's been given to us, I was like, now we always pissed about this, but what's the truth? What's the other side?
I think the piece that gets it is when you have black men that cheat on black women with white women.
Yeah.
And that's what sparks like, oh, what they give you that, and then the excuse, right? And this, to me, this is men that are...
It's a cop-out.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's a cop-out. It's like, oh, well, she gives me this. She make me sandwiches when I'm hungry. She does this. Like, yeah, that's the easy life.
She don't have a backbone.
But any real black man, I'm gonna say any real man, I ain't gonna discriminate. Any real man does not want the easy life.
No.
But they'll say it, like the weak people will say it, like, oh, she give me this, she give me that. Then what, bro? Once you conquered it, that's it. Do you want somebody you can build an empire with? Or do you want to just be the only person on the throne being like, you know what, don't say nothing. You shut the hammer. You sit there, you do what I want you to do, and that's it. No, that's not fun.
So not the easy life, but the peaceful life. So I will say that in situations where I've heard of, extreme infidelity or infidelity with somebody outside the race or somebody younger, it was really a situation of, I could have did it with you, but you wasn't with it. Many a times I've had clients or I've heard of situations where it's like, I asked my wife first, whether it was sex. So I asked her, did she want to travel with me? I asked her, did she want to, pull up and do this with me? And she was like, whatever else other than him. And that's a void. Mm-hmm. All you need is a void filler that look like something. And a void filler that looks like something that can also open up an opportunity that you couldn't open up at home wins.
Mm-hmm. Is that the same if you see a chick, right? You see a stripper that looks like an actress that you always want to, or actor that you want to smash.
I was thinking the same thing.
Is that the same thing? Where you just like, yo,
just a one-time
Holly Berry or Natalie Portman, like, yo, you look like her right now, and I just want to take it down because you look like her, but then I want to go home to my real thing.
You just got to see what's worth the experiment. You know what I mean? And the thing is there enough time and enough questions to know 3 chess moves later what that's going to be worth?
3 chess moves, see?
No, it's not worth it. It's never worth it.
You know what I mean? Which is why and successful men just pick differently. And if there is somebody else, they're also sustainable.
Yeah.
But the only reason that there's somebody else is because there's a series of things that whoever the chosen one is just not.
I got a question. So is it true that married people cheat with married people because they both have something to lose?
Is that what they do?
No.
Listen.
I don't think so.
I've
I'm not even married. I don't think so.
Is that what they do?
I've heard it.
That shit doesn't.
That should have backfired too. Because, and I'm saying that because you'll be with a married person.
If they catch your ass, they gonna blow your shit up.
Or you think that you're in a safe space, and you offer them a different experience, and they like, well, fuck it, I pick you. You like, wait, I don't pick you.
Right. But I'm gonna leave
or
my
whatever.
doors.
So it's
You told me this.
It's a challenge. I think either way. I think married people I think that based on somebody's responsibilities, just being married, you understand the parameters, you understand the timelines, you understand privacy, you understand whatever, and it doesn't have to be explained. And it's always better, whatever risk you take, even if it's in business, it's like, what you got to lose? So it ain't a fair thing or a sex thing. It's just if I am giving up something that could potentially fuck up something I really like or love, I just want to know what you got.
You got skin in the game.
It's just easier to do that with somebody that, whatever has as much money, has another problem, has something that you got. That y'all both got a dog, I don't know.
Yeah.
But something. Yeah.
So how do you feel about now, I mean, we only got like 7 minutes left, probably. We
Part
definitely
one,
gonna have a part 2. Yeah. And I'm gonna mix it up. We're gonna mix it up because we're gonna have somebody else come in with just to talk about it. But okay, in your position, your experience, I mean, you've been married for how long now?
10 years. It'll be 11 this July.
11 this July, we gotta celebrate.
Yeah.
How do you feel about open marriages?
I think that
Situationships, entanglements.
So those are different. I think the wildest part about having an opportunity to be a professor of human sexuality is being able to explain all these things and have every other race get it but my own, and have to, stay after class and kind of vibe a little differently to be like, shit, I know nobody told you. They told you monogamy was it. And the reality of the situation is if options are printed, that means research was done to show there are several people that choose other lifestyles. We like to think this shit is new. We like to think that it's different. I tell my students sometimes, I say, if you pull up a porn site and you pull up the wildest shit, the number under there is over 400,000.
Oh, it's
So what I know is that you're not the only one.
Yeah.
And in saying that, polygamy, polyamory, understanding consent and what y'all fuck with. Yeah. The good thing about your marriage is it's your shit. You can't tell me shit about Mike. Preach. And you honestly can barely speak to me around him. Yeah. So it's really just a matter of the possession of your most prized possession. And it's what the fuck we do when we do it. And understanding what works. I mean, some people can go into a situation and it extends their stay 10 years, one threesome. You stay married 5 more years. Or one visit to temptation. And he didn't really want to do the shit, whatever it is, but you was like, all right, let's go. Yeah. How you know he ain't bluffing and just want to watch? Sometimes it's not that deep if he yours.
That's actually
y'all going to play. It's a joy.
That's enlightenment.
Yeah.
Okay.
But most of the time you can do that if you know he yours, and y'all don't be letting us know for sure.
That's true.
We're not secure. You didn't make us secure, so we can't open up doors to do all that cool shit.
Right. So for those that have women or men, right, it's not going to jump to another point now. For those that have, because I'm trying to think what the fans want to see or hear, or maybe they got questions, right, where they
want to know what about my book is what they want to know.
Well, we're going to give you a time to shout out your book. But at the same point, so for those that have traditional relationships or marriages and stuff like that, if they're like, you know what, I want to make my spouse comfortable. I want to make my husband or my wife comfortable having this conversation without being judged. Like, yo, you know what? We both like that girl. She got a fat ass, right? Like,
let's take her down.
Her chemistry's good. She's good friends with both of us. Let's introduce her. But they go through a traditional background where they're like, you know what? No, like marriage, like it's sacred. Like we don't want nobody in. What advice do you give them on that?
So I like to explain to women that if your partner expresses an interest, it doesn't go away because you say no.
Right. All right.
So I think the arrogance of thinking that somebody's saying, I like chocolate, I really want to try chocolate, and you say, the Bible say don't eat chocolate. Okay, the craving's gone.
There's that one phone.
That's the alarm.
We talked about it, right?
That's because that was going to be good. Right. Whatever I was going to say. Yeah. No, and I think that it goes back to humility. I'm not comfortable with my husband being interested in anything that I can't offer him because I'm not arrogant enough to think that I'm it.
That you don't
I
want
see
to know.
I see a beautiful woman every day, all day long, everywhere.
I swim it everywhere.
So, and I know what my husband offers. How dare I think that because I won't do it, he can't get it?
And you see fine men everywhere.
And how dare I think that I can't ask and he can't provide it? So it's kind of like cut the arrogance and the ego out and try to understand, well, I can't offer it, but who can? Or how can we communicate this out and figure out what is it that you like? Do you feel like this is just a novelty experience, like an amusement park? And explain it in a way that secures her, because if we saying her ass is fat, I'm thinking, well, how many times this week you told me mine was?
Yeah.
So if I'm completely fulfilled because all day he on me, my husband is doing this and he's showing up and I'm getting it, I don't have a void for you to fill. So if you looking for another chick or you looking for an experience, it's a pair of shoes. I'm going to be over them after the trend passes.
No, I get you.
You know what I mean?
I get you.
So it's kind of like, well, you give in and swipe that damn card and come on and swipe this girl.
But then you get to, I 100% agree with you. But then you get to that point, right, where they like the worry or the fear. And it's based off rumors in streets, right? It's the rumors in the streets.
Nah, shit happens. It's a risk.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's probably a smaller population than after they make it as big. Where they're like, oh, well, you know what? I'm scared that my husband or my wife is going to just want to fuck with that person now.
Yeah.
So how do you overcome that?
So here's the challenge with that. You know what your, I would say, non-traditional list is as it relates to what you want to experience sexually. And you know that if it's something you've been wanting to try, something you want to do, and your girl is a hardcore no.
Yeah.
If you introduce a third party, not only is she with it, she good at it. You going back.
Yeah.
That is the risk.
Yeah.
That is what's scary. Same for you. If you like, man, babe, I don't really be, if you doing this, you doing that, I don't really do this, I don't really do that, and that nigga come through, and no matter what she got going on, he with it, you lost.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the bottom line, and you can fake after for 4 years, but you know you lost.
Yeah. In the back of your mind.
And I think the thing is your foundation and your security has to be set where the other person is a toy. It's something y'all are playing with, but y'all solid. If she don't think she it for you, it's not gonna work. I truly believe I can bring anybody home and Mike is gonna be like, what time does she leave?
I respect that though.
What time does she leave? I hope she's not trying to be your best friend after this shit because I'm not.
I don't want
and
that.
This is the direct
I
quote.
don't want y'all to be intimate. I don't want y'all to have this kind of.
He don't want to be bothered.
I don't want y'all hanging out after tonight. Like, what's up? Like,
he truly
the
work that it takes. He's not in it for the work. He was in it for that.
Yeah.
I work for her and she taking off.
Boom.
Man.
Yeah. We got a lot of. I got a lot of follow up questions.
Hey, I'm just entertained. I'm sitting here on the show, like, I'm just you see, I'm just cruising and just listening.
Actually, you probably should have been listening because he probably like, well, I mean, shit, I'm single now. Let me figure out how many married people I could actually like be a tool for.
Just chilling, man.
Couple Asians,
I'm learning.
Couple Asians, right? Because you know you got an Asian fetish right now, like.
Ain't no Asian couple. I'm good. I'm good with them. I'm not interested, man. But look.
Actually, it's probably a little bit different. I know we're about to close up. Like, we're about to close. But since you just said that, how does it happen in reverse?
What?
Were you trying to bring another man in?
I mean, possession.
That's the ego thing. Yeah.
It's an ego thing. You know, and I'm going to tell you a secret. A lot of my clients that are like 50, 55 plus, that's on their list. They want 2 men.
There's only one.
I'm serious.
No, I get it.
And it is the same list y'all get where it's like, I'm 50. I was saved the first 10 years. I was married the second 10. All of the freedom wasn't there. So she like, you know what? I got my own shit. I do what I want. I'm ready. And you got all these ready people lying to each other because, if you tell the truth, it's 2 niggas with it. But,
right.
And
then when it's time to do it, she ain't trying to be.
So the reality is, everybody got something else. And in the reverse, I personally don't think it's for the man that's actually in love with you.
Yeah,
I was about to say.
I think that it is a separate experience, and if it's something that a woman wants to enjoy, set it up, to make it a thing. I would love to believe that there's a woman that can tell her husband, I know you ain't with this. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying I love to believe because I'm making it up. I know these people. And it's a challenging conversation because she wants to try it just once.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'll go out of town. I'll do this. I'll get, we'll do everything we need to do.
Don't bring me a part of it. I'd rather you just do it. Like you said, out of town, out of country.
She's just like,
go ahead.
My husband.
Go ahead.
But
I don't know.
Yeah, what I don't.
Nobody.
Ain't no way I'm about to watch my wife.
I'm a lion.
Get tagged.
I'm a lion.
Yeah.
I'm a lion. There's a reason why there's a lot of lionesses around. There's never two lions.
I don't think nobody in here would be for that though.
But if you get
not with somebody I love.
if you date a
I do know
man,
people that
or would let their wife go get tagged.
no, I know people that will, but that's a whole different scenario of like the relationship.
Show.
Yeah.
It's a whole other show.
That's another show. But I would say if you have a fluid partner, if you've always identified differently, like you have people that are getting married that identify in a lot of different ways, and they're able to have a ton of sexual experiences because they've always wanted to fall in love with somebody that didn't make them conform. So they're having a lot of sexual fun, and they're doing things that's considered, sexual deviations, but they doing what they've been masturbating to since they was 14. Yeah. They just doing it in real life now.
Yeah,
facts.
Maybe
I think that's a conversation you have before you know what I'm saying? What are your sexual fantasies
Honestly,
before
that's true.
That's
supposed to be because we be saying
episode 2.
That is.
That's the next episode. That's part
bring
2.
me back for
So we actually it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. There's 2 people we're gonna bring back. So
we should do a live. We should do a live with you, like a part 2 live.
Oh, you think I qualify?
So people can ask questions
for this stuff.
and we can,
You already know how to. No, for real, it's definitely been a pleasure. Like it's been a long time coming because we've been talking about it.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out dates, and I wanted to figure out the exact time to actually have you on. So I think it was perfect. I always got mad love for you, the fam, and everything like that.
Same.
So we definitely appreciate y'all. We appreciate the fans.
Shout out to Amici keeping me fat.
Careful.
I love it.
Careful.
It's so good.
Sisters Lounge and Michelle.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry. If nobody tells you, nobody knows.
I mean, you called me McDonald at the beginning of the podcast, and it's McDowell, so we even.
McDowell.
See, whole time.
And y'all been friends for how long?
Dang, dog.
I know her mate. That's the name I really know.
Yeah, I called a guest.
And I know her husband.
What I saw, Chris.
I know her husband. I know her husband. First name. I don't bother with last names too much.
Yeah.
McDowell.
See, I called a guest, Chris.
Damn, this sound like coming to a bear. McDowell for real.
I have $1 every time. You the first time I heard that joke. It's original.
Damn. It's just like when they say, "Oh, Lester molester."
Wow, sorry.
I know it's okay. I forgive you. It's okay. With that being said, yo, definitely appreciate y'all too. Hopefully y'all gained a lot from this, and trust me, comment. Let us know because we probably gonna do a part 2 on this.
Yeah, we
and I have a feeling this will probably gonna be a part 3 to it as well.
I'm okay with it.
We gonna put little pieces in here to go ahead and
bring y'all back.
facilitate this a little bit more. So let the fans know where they can find you on your IG, whatever social media, and your book. You got the book out there.
It's so much stuff. Bezos said that I wrote one of the top 21 books for Black women. So it's on
Shout
Amazon.
out to Jeff Bezos. Not a shout out though.
Yeah, not a shout out though.
Not really a shout out.
It's a cool way to say my book's on Amazon.
Yeah.
Black Women's Sex and the Lies Our Mothers Told Us. And it's an anthology of stories that I collected doing my research. And it's questions at the end to get Black women to just start talking about stuff and deciding, what the rules are in their house.
Yeah.
Had a card game drop with Thanksgiving.
You ain't said it?
Yeah.
So that could be your gift to
I love card games.
You know what? I absolutely will bring it back.
We sending a gift to you. We sending a gift to you. Don't worry. But your gift to us is gonna be that card game.
It's the card game. Yeah, it's called Pretty, which is a shout out to my nonprofit organization here in Chicago, working with CPS.
Has nothing to do with your sorority.
No, I mean the sorority is full of the pretty girls, but. It's every girl at the end of the day want to be pretty.
Yeah, that's true.
No matter
but
what.
They want to know that they know that they pretty.
Tell us. No, we want y'all to say it.
Yeah, they want to know.
But card game is just a list of scenarios and characters. I really want mothers and daughters and grandmothers and aunties to start talking. So the card game allows everybody to be their own character. So they're speaking to somebody else. But not themselves. But as we know at a Black barbecue, if they're talking about their own business. So the card game kind of does that. And I'm on IG as Dr. Mac. All the stuff is there. Everything's on my website. I'm taking new clients next month. And I work with Black women on how to rebrand their sexual identity and their sexual futures. It's a 10-week onboarding program. As well.
Shout out. Wow. If y'all can't, if for some reason y'all forget this, just DM us in the Gentleman's Lounge. Don't worry, we got y'all. We got y'all. It's been definitely a pleasure. Jared, tell them how they can find you, dog.
Find me on Instagram at @JJones_05. You already know.
For sure.
Mr. Albert.
Handsome phenile. Let's go.
I love it.
Hey, I told them the ladies love it, man. Hey. I told them that season what last season, like, hey, the ladies love it, man. Hey.
All right, you got bald ass Les is more, and it's gonna be Dr. Loveless now. We gonna do a little. Yeah, I'm gonna create a separate Instagram page. You know, we gonna have we gonna have our bangers. You know what? Y'all never heard it. And with that being said, thank y'all for joining the Gentleman's Lounge, and we out.
We out.